And we need to wait a second because when we go live, we realized that it just takes a minute or so to connect. And let's have everybody come into the group. And Peter, I really appreciate you being on with me today. And I'm really excited. So, and to our listeners, we had almost 100 signed up. And I'm excited to talk to you guys about how to write your own book. And for the people which haven't met Peter yet, Peter is one of our authors who went through our program. You guys going to learn a little bit later about him on how to write that book. And for people which don't know me, my name is Christian. I had the opportunity to write 30 books with different people, and I had the opportunity to write those books with an official company which helped me kind of get this book done. And the people which know my story during COVID, my wife said, Christian, you wanted to write this book for 20 years. You got to write this book. And I wrote the book called For the Love of Austria, which was my very first self-published book, which was my love letter to my home country of Austria. And the few things I learned through this was I hired a company to help me, and I couldn't get it done. I went to a course. I couldn't get it done. And then my wife said, you just need to hire a coach. I hired this coach, and Peter knows that story, where we logged in and I had the margins didn't match. Every time I uploaded it to Amazon, it says the margins don't look. We on this call with my coach at the time, and he said, okay, it's really simple, Christian. Can you go there? Okay. Can you set this to 0.125? Okay. Go to the other side. Can you set it to, okay, do it now. And it was done. He charged me $6,000 for people which know the story. It took him 15 minutes to help me. And for me, I learned for that. If you have the right people help you, it helps you shorten your learning curve. And for me, running this company, it has been a lot of fun because our goal is that over the next 10 years, we want to have 1 million of you guys write your own book. So with that, let me get started. Again, my name is Christian. I'm the owner of a company called Fisher Research Group. And one of the companies we have is the Book Blueprint course, which is our course, which helps you, the listeners, to get your book done. There's a few reasons I wanted to have a book, and I always tell a story that I feel everybody should write a book, not just to write a book, to have a book for the marketplace. I love what writing a book does for you, who you become in the process of writing the book. And again, I'm really excited to have Peter here with me today. How many books do you have currently out there? 5, 6, Peter?
7. I have 7. 7 published and like 10 more started.
So, and Peter went through the program with us, and he's one of our star students. And before the first book was even done, he had already 2 other ones in the queue. And if you follow the systems we're gonna talk about, it's really easy to get a book done. And for people which know us, we help individuals to write a book in 8 weeks or less. So with that, I want to say thanks for being here today, because what we're gonna teach you today is how to write a book that not just elevates your brand, but which helps you grow a business. And for people which don't know, we have started this officially in 21. We had over 40 people write books with us. We have 55 books currently out there, and the 55 books made a little bit over $4.5 million in revenue. And so can you. I want to welcome you to the Book Blueprint course, where we help you write, publish, and promote a book in 8 weeks or less. And for the people which are serious about writing a book, we have a special offer for you. And the offer is that we will offer you $500 discount on our program. And we want to be 100% upfront because we want you to write a book. So we give you $500 upfront. All you need to do is take this QR code, which brings you to our site, And then within 3 days, we have back for you a full blueprint on how to get your book done. Once again, my name is Christian. I'm your instructor in this, and I had the opportunity to write 34 books, but more than that, I have one of our authors with us today. His name is Peter, who has 7 books out there, and you guys heard him. He has 10 more on the shelf. And we wanted to hear from him a little bit later. What was the impact for him on a book? Not just what was the impact for him on a book, writing it, is what had it as an impact for him long term. So, what is some of the writing blocks people have and how we help them solve it? And you know what? It's really not that difficult if you have a coach, and let us be the coach. And if you sign up for that QR code, we will help you to write your book and give you an outline within 3 days. So hopefully you stay to the end. So why do you want to write a book? And there's a few different reasons, but for us, there's 5 main reasons we put out there, which are, the first one is you want to become an authority in what you write about, and you want to get some credibility. There was just a study basically which came a few weeks ago from Harvard, which said that people with a book and a PhD, people looking at them just about the same way. So how amazing is that you have a book and people look at you like you have a PhD? It's absolutely amazing. Also, a book helps you to have your unique story told in the marketplace. It helps you to advance your career. How cool would it be if you want to go for this new job and you write a book with your experience, and then have the people you interview say, hey, if you want to learn more about me, there's a book about this subject matter expert. And so it's just absolutely amazing. Also, there is some other benefits around that. If you want to just have a way to have some additional income, a book is a great format for that. And also, if you want to leverage your network and have more connections, a book is the way to do it. And here's the real truth. It never has been easy to write and publish a book. And never it has been easy how to promote a book. And what we've been really lucky in doing it, as we wrote as many books as we have, we found a step-by-step process you can follow to get your book done in 8 weeks or less. There's the old way of publishing, which takes 6 to 9 years. And I actually want to expand that because Peter is a good example. I think, Peter, it took you longer than 9 years to write your book. What was for you the number one reason why you signed up for us? And first off, let the audience meet you. Give us the 2-minute cliff note who Peter Fischbach is, and then talk to us. What was your key differentiator? Why you wanted to sign up with us?
Sure. So I'm Peter Fischbach. I own a consulting business. I do everything from designing and building restaurants to business growth, development, and strategy. I own a banquet hall in Jackson. I'm a published author of 7 books, and I have, like I said, 10 more in the queue. I have a barbecue and rib rub line that came from one of my books, was an offshoot or an extension of one of my books. And I just love sharing my knowledge. So consulting and book writing is the perfect mix to be able to do that.
Awesome.
And as you know, I sent you my first manuscript that for the book that I attempted to write in 2008 and never went anywhere. And then another one in 2009, another one in 2011. And it wasn't until like November of 2020 when I hooked up with you for the class, and by January 1st I had written 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
You had told me that somebody wrote a book in 54 days, so I was like, I'm going to do it in less. So I wrote it in 36 days, and by 54 days I had 3 books published. And it's a super easy process. The most intimidating part about writing the book was, originally back then you had to commit to purchasing, a couple thousand books, and it was like, $10,000 or $15,000 worth of investment with no real way of knowing you're going to be able to sell the book or move the book or how to do that. So that's always a little scary. And not really understanding how to format a book, not being able to talk to somebody and have them walk you step through step, and how to market the book, how to get people to review the book and give you feedback. As you know, as we went through the process, when I created my first book, Coastal Jersey Barbecue, Hog Candy Coastal Jersey Barbecue, I didn't put any background story or anything about me in it. It was strictly just about the barbecue. And then when I gave it to the study groups, they're like, where's the stuff about you? Why, and I was like, I just didn't, people don't know me. I didn't think they'd want to know me. And they're like, we want to know that we want to know you. We want to know about you and your story and, how that ties to the barbecue, because it's all relevant. I never really understood that your story is every much as important as the content in the book, because the story and the information about you is what connects the reader to the writer and has them really understand and appreciate what you're doing throughout your book. So that forced me to go through and rewrite the first half of my book, and I still got it done in 36 days though.
Yeah.
But I would have never known that had you guys not, laid all of that out and, told us about launch teams and all of this other stuff that you just have no idea how to do. And formatting the book was very daunting initially until you provided the templates, and from there it became easy. And that's how I get so many books done, is because I took the template, and like I told you a long time ago, I'm going to be the Henry Ford of book writing. I have several book templates going at the same time, and as thoughts pop in, I plug the information into that book, I plug the information into this book, and then sometimes the book I started first is finished last, because once you get, once those thoughts come and you start plugging them in and you have a place to put them in a format that you're following, it makes it easier as the writer. All my books are the same number of pages, the same number of, if it's a recipe book, the same number of recipes, the same number of pictures. So there's a format and a method to pumping out those books with useful content.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate Peter, and I also want to warn you, our people which want to write a book, because if you will become like Peter, and we say this jokingly, because when you start writing a book and you get your first book out there to the marketplace, you have ideas. Oh, I want to share this. I have this. I can teach this to the audience. And for me, the very first time, I hope, Peter, you don't mind me telling the story. The very first time Peter sent me his manuscript, we wrote him back, and I was like, hey, Peter, this is 7 books. This is not, the way people consume books has changed. So you can write 7 books with what he would have written 1. So for me, it was a really good experience. And for me, I'm very proud that you have 7 books on the marketplace, and soon to be 10. So with that, so for us, the old way of writing was exactly that. It took 6 or 9 years or longer. Or with Peter, it took 15 years. With me, it took 17 years. And I didn't want to write my own book because it seemed so daunting. It seems like such a big undertaking. And for me, I wrote 34 books since on my own. And I can tell you that we have developed a step-by-step process for you to get there. The old way was also that you spend somewhere between $8,500 to $120,000 to get your book published. And we just updated this. It used to be that the average writer sold less than 500 copies, but now they're saying it's less than 100 copies. And we're going to teach you how to write a lot more than that. So what is that new way of writing a book? You can do it in 8 weeks or less. We found that there's really 6 ways or 6 principles in writing a book. And if you do this every week, and for us, the very first week is we're getting really clear on how do you want to write the book? Because if you want to write the book as an author and say, hey, I just want to promote my method, okay, the book will be different than when you write it the way Peter wrote it, or if you want to educate somebody. So we're going to do this for you at the very first class. We get really, really clear. What is the book intended to be? What is the final outcome? Because as you get really clear on that, is the book will take shape, and it's a lot easier for you to do it. And also we have a step-by-step proven process which we follow and all of our students have followed. There's a revenue model that does not depend on book sales. And it's great to sell the book on Amazon or wherever you have it. But what a book allows you to do, and when Peter tells a little bit about his story, the people which approached him and the things he did with this book is absolutely amazing. And it's very easy to build a 6+ figure business around your book. And the cool thing is you become the go-to expert. And when we share this, a lot of people saying, oh, I love writing about appetizers, but there's so many books out there about appetizers. You heard what Peter said earlier. It's not about the book. It's about you. Because people fall in love with you, because if you make an Austrian dish, it's different than mine or Peter's. So people want to know and get behind or go in your brain on how you make it. And there's 100 different restaurants or books out there currently with pizza. And pizza is one of the fastest selling books out there. And for me, the cool thing about what we have developed here is that we have that step-by-step proven process. And Peter laughs because for us, we're fairly busy. We run 9 other businesses. And what we ask the audience, hey, tell me what book I should write about. And then I write a book with them. And if I can get it done, there's really no excuse for somebody else to get it done. But I always say, even if it takes 10 weeks or 12 weeks, do not, everybody has their own pace. A book will change not just the way you look at what you're writing about, it will change you. And that's for me the greatest thing about a book, because a book is changing who you are as a person. Because if you like shortcuts, a book will expose that. If you are not really clear, a book will expose that. So for me, I always use that story. I wrote the book called For the Love of Austria. I gave it to somebody who was part of my launch team and said, hey, can you proofread the book? Because she wrote, she is a high school teacher and she teaches English. So I said, hey, you would be the perfect person to read the book. And she, like a half hour into it, she says, okay, I'm on page 32. And you mentioned this individual guy, his name is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And she says, okay, I like Mozart too, but you don't need to mention him every single page. So the cool thing is the way we have the structure and the reason we have that group, which helps you, because for me, I didn't see that, and having somebody else reading it is really cool. The other thing for me is when you write a cookbook, for an example, there's some of your friends which are really good in writing the book, and they come back and say, hey, okay, this method didn't make change. Can you change that? Or, hey, you use ounces here, but you use another format here. And it's a really cool to kind of get that group excited. We actually launching a book at the end of the month. And our future to be author is absolutely amazing. It's, by the way, a relative of Peter's. And I think that book is so hugely helpful for a lot of different people. I'm really excited to get the book out there for her. But for me, those are the tools in writing a book. And the new way is really simple, 8 weeks or less, because we have a step-by-step proven process which helps you to get there. Not only how to get there, how to get it done. Then also we will help you how to build a business around it. If you choose to, you don't need to. If you want to get the book out there just as a book, you don't need to. But I can guarantee you that you want to have another way of having that information be out to your customers. So we have developed a really simple 3-step approach. We call it clarity, craft, and commerce. So with clarity, we talked a little bit about that. Because around clarity is you need to get really clear on what the book is all about. Who is the book for? How is the reader going to consume the book? And how do you want them to act around the book? Or what do you want them to do with the book? So we help you get really clear to help you get a really well-crafted topic, which is really important. And then also find a way what works for you around writing the book. There's a lot of tools out there which we're going to have for you, but some people write really great in the morning and some of them write great in the evening. So we're going to find that out for you. What is your best reading time and writing time? Then also we help you to define your unique angle. Do you want to have that book be a book we teaches somebody, or do you want to share your method? It also helps you to leverage your personal experience and expertise, because a book can help you stand out, and not just with your perspective, but it can help you stand out as a individuals. And our success story here is Shri. Chef Shri came to us, and you heard Peter knocking him earlier because there was a little bit of smack talking going on, because Peter beat his thing. So Chef Shri wrote this amazing book. It's called Dosa Corner. And he had no idea how he wanted to get it done, but he got the book done in day 52. And then there comes Peter. So now Shri is second. It's not a competition, but you don't want to be second. So, but Shri, he said, I wanted to write this book for over 10 years. I just didn't know how to do it. And we were able to help him. And he got the book on the marketplace on day 52. So now, how do you define your craft? So, because for us, craft is really simple. It's important to get clear and organized in writing, and we help you to enhance the readability and the engagement, because that's what we have learned. And then, what are some of your key writing habits? We talked about it. Hey, we set a writing schedule for you, and that helps you stay consistent and maintain momentum. And that's around craft. And then we have Peter, and maybe Peter, I let you talk a little bit about what it was like for you to do your book and get the book done on day 32. You have built a multi six-figure business around that. So talk to us a little bit. How was the craft piece where we kind of help you get clear on the book? We helped you how to write it, and talk to us a little bit how the process was for you.
Yeah, the process was phenomenal. Super easy, very well articulated and thought out, and it just made everything so easy. And the weekly updates and being held accountable was just phenomenal. It kept you engaged, made you want to be be on task. So you got to the point where you needed to be. For me, it became addictive. Obviously, I once I figured out how easy it was, and the main reason, books ultimately don't get written is people get frustrated and give up. But when you're engaged and you're locked in, it just becomes easy. And the other thing is, like you said before, you know, a book isn't always a book. Sometimes a book is 2 books, 3 books, 4 books. And to get that clarity, you need to be able to break out what belongs in another book, what belongs put to the side, and how to really focus on the book that you're working. Because as you go through the process, it starts, and you start thinking about other things, and those other things end up clogging that thought process. So if you're able to just park those other ideas in another spot and focus more in on the book that you're writing without losing those ideas, because those ideas are very useful, just not in that current context. Your program allows you to see that and get the clarity you need to be able to stay focused and finish the task at hand, and really get you jump started on your next book. The process is great. The launch team was phenomenal. That launch team was very pivotal in shaping the book and understanding your audience. On my launch team, I was fortunate enough to have 32 people that were willing to spend their time to read the book and give feedback. And I got very phenomenal feedback, and which I found very interesting. There were several pages where I got feedback from all 32 people, but none of the feedback was the same, and it was all correct. Like something misspelled, a punctuation wrong, a thought that wasn't complete. All of those things was pretty interesting to see how somebody, 32 different people can pick up on 32 different things on a single page.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. And one thing it made me really realize was, as a writer, when you write and you proofread something, your brain is automatically allowing you to proofread it in the way that you thought you wrote it, which is why you miss things. You're reading it how you thought you wrote it, but not how you actually wrote it. So that's why it's important to have several people proofread that, and make sure that when you have people from all different walks of life. I had teachers, I had people that loved cooking, hated cooking, you know, people that were editors, people that were business people, you know, people that understood barbecue because the first book was a barbecue book, people that didn't like barbecue, people that knew nothing about barbecue. So I had the gamut of people and got really good feedback about the content, the user friendliness. All of those things are important. And as you're talking to your launch team, it makes you think of other ways that you can market that book,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that whole process was really phenomenal. And once I finished that first book, you get that shot of dopamine and, you know, that euphoric feeling that you've accomplished something,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's something you've been working on for an extended period that you just couldn't get. You know, that writer's block isn't always writer's block. It's just not being able to focus and hone in on what needs to do. And you guys make that super simple.
We really appreciate it, Peter. And I'm looking forward to seeing the other books of yours on the marketplace because there was a few things Peter said. And we found that, by the way, I was client number 0. Because for me, I didn't want to write the book because I didn't want to be judged because people looked at me as a chef and I said, you wrote a book, you know? And writing the first book, I spent so much time, so much effort, and I never really got anywhere. And then as I wrote my second one, and at the time, you know, my partner, Joe said, why why is it so easy for you to write a book? I was like, oh, I do this, this, and this. And then he says, we should teach a class. And full transparency, for 2 years, we actually taught this for free on Zoom. We were, during COVID, we were on 9 hours a day, and we had people call in and say, hey, you want to write a book? I think you need to do this, this, and this. And it kind of became for us a platform where we wanted to say, you know what? We seen the impact a book had for the people which wrote the book. So therefore, our goal is to have 1 million people over the next 10 years write a book, because it's not about the book. It's who you become in the process. And hopefully you guys become like Peter. There's this nice financial aspect, but who wants to write a book and wants to share about his experience, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Peter, for sharing your story. But we loved working with Peter because the process is simple. We have that step-by-step process for you. You just need to call in, and we do those calls live. You can ask questions. If you need to jump on with somebody from the team, we have marketing, we have design, we have somebody here for anybody, what they need, they can help you to get the book published. We also had Tim here, and Tim wrote a book. He was a teacher, and he felt that he could do better in writing books, not just for him, but for his audience. And he did an amazing job with his book because he taught people on how to write a book and have it be not just be successful. By the way, he has a full business around that. And then we have the commerce piece. And the commerce piece for us is really simple. We help you with a social media strategy. We help you with public speaking. We currently work with somebody who had 7 TEDx talks, and I know the book is going to launch him even to do more. We help you navigate the publishing process because it's so confusing for so many people, and that's why they never start. But here for us, it's really simple. We guide you through it. We tell you what is the difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing. And we don't really care which direction you go, but we want you to go self-publishing because then you own the rights for your book, and then you can license it out and do so many other things with the book. And then also the distribution channels, because you own the process. Therefore, if you would like to do a traditional process, we can help you with that. But we want you to have the proper rights and everything for your book. That's why we're pushing you towards self-publishing. And finally, we help you build an author's brand. And one of Peter's relatives who be launching a book, she's absolutely amazing in what she does. She is absolutely amazing in the subject matter expertise we talking about and writing about. And we had a call with her yesterday, and I said to her, do you remember as you started this, you said, I don't want this, I don't want that. No, I just want one book. She's working in her mind. She has 6 other books already she's working on. She's going to go live with us for the first time just in a few days. And it totally changed who she is as a person, because we know that what she has to teach is going to change people's lives. And that's why we do what we do. So for us, that's where the commerce piece come in. And now you're probably wondering, how can you make money with a book? There's so many different ways around royalties. If you want to have a book, and you can license it to a lot of different people. If you're a coach or a consultant, you need to have a book, because it will help you cement your process, whatever you have, which is different for you. Because the cool thing is, if somebody reads a book and they read it, the amazing thing is they telling themselves that you are the subject matter expert. Also, this is a great way to make money around any kind of media. If you have a consulting, coaching business, you can have a high ticket service sales around it. You can raise money. We help nonprofits write books to raise money. And then if you go out there and speak, you need to have some kind of application which helps you differentiate yourself from anybody else. And that doesn't matter if you do in-person speaking or virtual. And then also around corporate training. And we know that all of these ways are a really great way for you to make money. We had a consultant here for us. His name was Bob. And Bob went through it. And you know what the greatest thing was? As he was done with his book, he was so clear on what he wanted to do to help people grow their business. He was able to have a 500% increase in fee. And I want to say this again. 500% increase. Not only was this for him that he said, hey, I was looking for my next client. I had people come to me. And the more I charged, the more final results people had out of the book. For us, it was the way for us where we said, hey, we need to break out of writing a book and just do cookbooks. We do some other stuff. And it was amazing for me to watch how he has evolved as a writer. What impact would that have for you if you could charge more for your business, or more for what you do, or more for your restaurant, or more as a consultant, or more if I want to teach something else? We helped somebody write a book who is a physical therapist. We have pretty old genres covered right now. You can write a book about anything. And actually, we have Lawrence here. Lawrence wrote a book about how to teach football to the games and the stuff he always went to. So you can write a book about anything. And the cool thing about that is that you can make money doing this. So we have our program. Let me introduce you to the book Blueprint course, which is our program, which is an 8-week course, which helps you write and publish a book in 8 weeks or less. And then not only will you become an author, not just have a finished author's program, that you have the opportunity to change people's lives. And not just change people's lives. You have strategies and positioning where we know if somebody reads your book, they will learn something. And for me, there's one really big thing around a book. And the way people consume books is different. The days of 600-page books are over, because people want to just dive in on a small subject matter expert. Because if I can do basically anything, there's something called Google, and I can learn anything. But if somebody has a book, or somebody has a coaching program and has a book to go with it, and I can learn their process, it helps me shorten the learning curve. And that's what a book is all about. So let me introduce you to our program. So our program is really simple. As you heard Peter talking about, we have an 8-week mentorship and support group. So what does that mean for you? We go live in those 8 weeks, and we stay on until every single question is answered. So we're teaching you, hey, this is what you need to get done for the next time period. And then we're going to help you to make sure you clearly understand what you want you to do and how do you get it done. We also have that amazing community and networking. The cool thing is, if you write a book, it kind of elevates who you are, and being in a group with other people which wrote books, and especially if you see Peter coming into the event, who soon has 10 books out there, it becomes that little friendly competition. Also, we have some exclusive content and materials which we're going to help you. We have ongoing guidance for you. So you can, for all the times, you can call us, email us, text us, and we help you to get your book done. We also have a self-publishing book, not just the workbook we have a step-by-step process which helps you to complete that. We have 8 live sessions. We talked about that. And then we have access for you 24/7. And that's where we are different than some of our competitors out there, because we write books with you, because we will ask people, hey, what should we write about? And we write a book because we're doing this for 2 reasons. Number one, we want to learn all the new things which changed in the marketplace. We want to take advantage of AI, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on what is out there. There might be a new way of communicating with somebody else. Maybe there's a great way of leveraging somebody else who can help you with the design of the book. So we doing that for you. And that's all included in our course. So if you are serious, if you want to write a book, or if you ever wanted to write a book, I encourage you to take a picture of this QR code. I encourage you to fill out those 2 simple questions, because you will get a $500 discount. And this is only good until we start the format, and we give you a step-by-step plan on how to get your book done. So this exclusive program is used to enhance your expertise, and it enhances your networking, and it enhances your career. If you own your own business, or if you want to do something else, a book can set you apart from some of your competitors. And for us, we want 1 million people become published authors over the next years. So now it's time for you to show up and take action. As we promised you, it's really simple. If you want to have a custom outline for your book, we encourage you to take advantage of our QR code, scan it, write in there 2 sentences or less. Hey, what is my book idea about? And let us make a custom plan for you. We will send you that email within the next 3 days, where you have a customized outline for you. So with that, I want to say thanks for being here today. And if you haven't done so, make sure you take advantage of our $500 offer. Once again, my name is Christian, and I want you to be an author. Not only do I want you to be an author, because I know writing a book can change your life. And for that, please go to the book blueprint course.com to get signed up today. And with that, I want to say thanks for being here today. And Peter, any final messages for you or from you?
Yeah, just if you've ever wanted to write a book, now is the time. Take advantage. It's definitely worth it. It is definitely a life-changing experience on many levels, and you won't be disappointed for sure.
Thank you, Peter. And to our listeners, I want to say thanks for spending 40 minutes with us. I know that you have a book in you. I know a book can change you, not just the direction of your career, it can change your life. And with that, I want to say thank you for being here today. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the book Blueprint Course.com. I'm also the founder of the Fisher Research Group. And I want to just say thank you for Peter for being here. He's one of our star students. By the way, a lot of people sometimes wonder, hey, how do you get this done? And we asked Peter if he wants to come on our faculty and be a teacher with us. So you guys gonna get to see a little bit more on the next course. Peter, thanks for all of your leadership out there in the marketplace and for writing your 7 books. We really appreciate you. If there's any questions, please comment below. We will follow this thread over the next day or 2. We will answer any questions which come along. And I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to be here with you. And hopefully we see you at the upcoming course. With that, I want to say thanks to everybody for being here. Peter, I really appreciate you. And please go over there, make sure you take that QR code and take advantage of the $500 discount. With that, I want to say thanks everybody for being here.